Alright, so Japandroids. How long have you been into this tour?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Rock and roll. So you guys took like a 4-month break or something like that after the Post Nothing like initial 2009 tour, right?
We took a 3-week break this summer.
This summer?
In 2009, I mean, we as soon as the album was released, we started touring, and the only reason we stopped for any prolonged amount of time was because Ryan was in intensive care and in the hospital. Other than that, we've only taken just a 1-month break maximum. At any given moment, we've just been going since April. So.
Rock and roll, that's some like Black Flag type.
Well, not quite.
Attitude. Well, not quite, but I mean, you don't have beer bottles and like people spitting on you, but
not yet.
Anyway, what's like what music have you guys been listening to lately? Like, what's been playing on the bus, on the road? Your music players?
What's playing in the band? Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses.
We were in LA, so we had to listen to Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
New Grinderman record I bought at Amoeba in San Francisco. So we've been listening to that a lot. I don't know what else. It's hard because like on the drive you end up listening to so much music all the time. It's like, I mean, probably listened to 10 albums today just driving here. So it's like.
All right.
I was watching an old Nick Cave documentary today.
The Road to God Knows Where,
which is awesome.
Yeah. Tonight, after the show, once we start driving, we're gonna watch the second half live at the Paradiso in Amsterdam.
So like, apart from like what you guys been listening to lately, like what are your like core bands, you know, that like kind of like inspired you to do music?
There's a lot.
Yeah, mostly those same bands: Guns N' Roses, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. What else? What else really like is inspiring? The Sadies. I think the Sadies are super inspiring. They're like a band I look up to. I don't know. What else?
Sonics were a band that we talked about a lot when we first started.
Yeah, this question could go on forever. So.
All right. This is kind of like a strange question, but was there like ever a moment where you like realized you're like I've read that you were a scientist and both of you went to college, right?
Yeah.
So like, was there like a moment where you just decided like screw everything, I'm gonna go on the road for the next year and a half, leave everything behind, this is what I love? Like, whoa, was there like a specific moment that kind of like sparked that?
I think that was something that we were waiting for a long time. You know, we were working jobs. You know, we were both in university and then we were working, you know, real jobs for a while. But we were putting a lot of time into making music and really, you know, sacrificing quite a bit, you know, in order to put as much time as possible into music for a long time. And you know, as soon as we got the opportunity where we could just tour non-stop, we just grabbed it. You know, and that happened when Post Nothing was released and started getting a lot of buzz. That's when we first really got the opportunity to get in a van and go. And we've been waiting for that for a long time, so it was just one of those things where as soon as that opportunity arose, we just went for it, and that's what we've been doing ever since. You know, so I think, yeah, it's just one of those things where as soon as we had the opportunity, we just went for it.
All right, that's cool. So, what about your songwriting process? Like, have you had like a lot of these singles already written, or were some of the songs written on tour? Or like, what's the deal? Like, do you write the songs on guitar and then you bring them to him, he lays down a drum track, and you write them together?
It's really random, to tell you the truth. It's really like, the singles is especially random. You know, we go in with an idea of like what we're gonna record, something that we have like down really tight, and we end up putting out something that we kind of recorded sort of randomly that we, you know, had just kind of like figured out that we were just going to record because we had a bit of extra time, sort of thing. So it's really like, I don't know, it's really random. All these singles have been kind of random. Like, they're not exactly, we didn't end up putting out exactly what we planned to put out. So it's really more like we go into the studio for a few days and we were home, and kind of the best thing that we recorded we would just put out. So
recording is just a really weird process in that sense. Like, you go in with some sort of game plan, and then everything gets fucked.
So like,
and somehow it works out in the end, but it doesn't really, you go in with a game plan, but it never really ends up working out exactly how you expected it to.
Both the last two singles, we went in thinking we were gonna put a different song out on those singles, and each time we ended up putting like a Younger Us, that single, like that wasn't the song we planned to put out for that single, but
that's kind of the bonus song.
Yeah, it was like just an extra one we recorded because we had time, and then same with Heaven Grand Prix, like that we didn't go in thinking we went in thinking we were gonna put a different song out on that single, and we ended up putting that one out. So yeah, it's really random.
Like those things, you can feel when a song will feel right when you record it, and both of those ones just, we had another song planned at times, but that song just felt like.
Well, those songs did not come out fucked or anything. They're pretty awesome.
Thanks.
So like those were like written like. So you're saying that those kind of like were written in studio?
No. They're all just kind of like, they're all old stuff that we're just trying to get out. But there's all these kind of like for example, if you have a couple days and you have like something that's like totally written and totally like you know exactly how it's gonna go, and then you had something that like you started working on back then and you just kind of left it. And it's like, well, you record the song that's totally done and you get that out of the way, and then you have a chance to kind of like mess with the one that wasn't quite done. And it just happens that the ones that weren't quite done, that we just kind of messed around with, ended up being the ones we put out, and the ones that were totally done forever, that we've been known how to play for like literally years, like we haven't put out. So it's
So like in a sense, kind of like, I don't want to say you hold back, but you have like extra bullets in the chamber, so to speak.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like kind of like
bits and pieces
and other songs kind of hanging around, but you try to put out not just the best songs that you can, I think, but like songs that the whole idea of doing a series was not to put out the same song 5 times. So it's trying to like pick different songs that kind of like, you know.
Well, they're all different. Like
yeah, exactly. So
like the newest one's kind of dancey, like
a little
dance
bit different sides of the band, maybe something like that.
All right, so. What are the future plans like after you're done releasing your single series? Like, have you guys started writing songs for a new album, or when can we expect one?
This is the last tour. This is the last tour with the Walkmen that we're doing. So this is like a really long tour. It's 8 weeks. So when we're done this one, we're gonna go home in November and stay home for a while, and then do a lot of writing and record a new record at the very start of next year. So it'll be out hopefully springtime kind of thing.
And finally, this is just a geeky question on my part, but your tone, man. What do you do with your amps and your guitars?
Like as you can see right now, my tone is like pretty happy, pretty like satisfied, pretty like just finished playing, so it's pretty content. But like tone before we play is a bit nervous. And tone. That's what you mean, right?
Like guitar tone.
Oh, guitar tone. I understand. It's just, you know, get a bunch of amps and hook them all up and turn it up really loud and make a bunch of noise. Like it's a totally ongoing process, lots of experimentation. It's kind of like, it's different every tour. We have different amps and different setup every tour, just constantly trying to make what we do sound better. So it's like I could tell you what we're doing tonight, but then it would be different a week from now, because it's kind of always trying to experiment a bit. So
yeah, just out of curiosity, like I know you have like same guitars, and I've seen like they all have the same picture. What's the picture of? Or I can't really ever get a good.
It's not the same picture. It's actually a different picture.
It's a
yeah,
different
they
picture?
change over time. This one tonight is pictures when my little brother and I were kids. We had a contest in my basement where we spread all our hockey cards out on the floor to see who had the bigger hockey card collection.
Huh.
And then we took pictures of each one of us with our hockey card collection to see who's had the bigger one. And then we were really young. We did this like 4 or 5 years old or something like that. And so those pictures on my guitar, yeah, my collection with myself, and then my little brother with his collection itself.
Well, like it seems to be like a common theme in your music, kind of like nostalgia almost.
Well, that's more just like kind of taking a bit of home with you on the road. You know, you're gone for long periods of time. You don't get to see your family. And it's like just having like, it's like a constant reminder, even when you're playing, that like just kind of, you know, just a little bit of home. That's all.
A little bit of home. All right. Well, I don't want to hold any more of you guys. This is up time. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
let's go see the Walkmen.
All right. And
All right.
just you guys want to say one more thing to anyone who's going to be watching this? Start with David. One each.
You should go watch the Walkmen because they're a great band.
Oh, yeah. Seen them before. They're awesome.
Yeah.
What about you?
I second that. Let's go watch the Walkmen.
All right. Thank you.